Welcome to Pro Bono with Ed Nahhat. This is our 5th episode, believe it or not, where we talk to lawyers about their favorite subject, themselves. But seriously, we at Kemp Klein, we have really amazing lawyers here, and so we want to talk to them about who they really are, and then what makes them amazing lawyers. So I've got a really good friend of mine here today who is an amazing lawyer. I don't tell that to him in person most of the time, but I wanted you to get to know him. He's a partner here at the firm, and I've just really enjoyed working with this guy for so long. So welcome to Pro Bono to my friend, Brian Jenney.
Thank you, Ed.
Good to see you today.
You too.
You haven't appeared in something like this before. Do you feel relaxed? You okay?
I do.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Good. So what you're really good at is helming a sailboat, aren't you?
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you know this, guys, but Brian is a captain on a yacht. It's a racing sailboat, really. He's not pleasure sailing. What he does is he races, and he's responsible behind the wheel of a sailboat, the lives of crew. And the reason I know this is because I've been on his boat. I put my life in your hands, and I've really enjoyed it.
Yes, it's been great.
So trusting a man with your life is a little bit more than just trusting a lawyer with your case. So how does it feel to be trusted?
It's an honor to be trusted. It's something you desire to do when you're an attorney. You have those relationships with a family, and it's important to have that relationship built on trust.
See, that's the thing about what you do is you create trusts for your clients, and you also manage or administer trusts for your clients, and you help them handle their trusts. It's so fascinating to me because I've been reading about you. I learned some things about you in preparation for this interview that I didn't even know. For example, I learned that you have a bachelor's degree in a non-legal field, in fisheries and wildlife. I didn't know that.
That's correct. So I thought for sure I was going to do fisheries and wildlife. I actually tracked grouse up north for a while before I went to law school.
I'm sorry, grouse?
Grouse, yeah, the bird that people hunt. Yes.
Did you catch any?
A lot of them.
Oh.
And tagged them.
Tagged them?
Yeah.
So you didn't catch them to
No.
Oh.
No.
You caught them to tag them. So was it a naturalistic sort of part of, was it part of the state?
The DNR and the Rough Grouse Society funded it.
So when you are an attorney now and you're working with families with special needs, for example, do you take that kind of care mindset into your work, that you're looking after people who have special needs and you're sort of chasing those needs?
Yeah, and special needs is, as you know, is one of my most favorite places to practice, because you really are helping the families, and you become a trusted advisor to them for their entire life. Because when you have special needs children that have issues and concerns, you're helping the family through the entire process. Your estate planning, through the probate court, the guardianship, everything that they kind of need, and the benefits they can receive from the state or the federal level, you're helping them go through the entire process.
They're not the only type of people that you help, though, right? I mean, you help people of all walks of life, don't you?
That's correct. Everything from, grandmas that need help with their estate planning for their houses to full-blown taxable estates.
Oh, that's another thing. I didn't quite recognize this before, but you actually have a higher degree in tax. What they call it an LLM. I've been wondering, what does LLM stand for?
Oh, that's Latin for something I don't even know, because it's LLM. It's a special master's in tax. So
okay.
While I was practicing, and actually when my kids were younger, I went back to school because the tax impact on the estate planning was significant, and I wanted to make sure I understood everything and all the options. I wanted to have the full knowledge to be able to give the client the perspective on tax issues as well as just estate planning as well.
What's interesting about that is that when I have a tax issue or a trust issue that involves really sophisticated questions, I'm always walking down the hall and asking you. because my specialty, everyone knows, is litigation, and I don't necessarily know all those code sections. I mean, when you're at a law firm, you have to collaborate with the people down the hall who have special knowledge, and Brian Jenney's one of those guys. I come down the hall to you, and you seem to have like the codes on the top of your head. How do you do that?
Well, I studied it for a long time, and I do have to give deference to Earle Endelman that was here and practiced. I got to practice with him for years before he retired, and he worked with me with the IRS code, and he knows it on the back of his hand. So
Yeah.
try and keep up with.
When he comes in, sometimes still I see him, and he's just got that sharp.
He's very sharp.
I love that guy.
And great mentor.
He's got it. That's the E in the KKUE, Kemp Klein, Humphrey and Endelman, and May. He's the E in there.
That's correct.
What a wonderful man. Well, speaking of your kids, I don't know if y'all need to know this about this guy. You have 4 kids, right?
That's correct.
Okay. What's fascinating about that? It's wonderful that you have 4 kids, but tell everybody what's special about your 4 kids.
They're 2 sets of twins. So the boys are 3 years older than the girls. So there's boys first and then the girls.
Okay. 2 sets of twins.
Correct.
So that was very efficient.
Yeah.
Was it just a miracle? I understand your wife's an MD. Did she have some type of, special efficiency medicine that she took? What was it? Just a miracle?
Yeah, it's just that there's a lot of twins on her side of the family, so we have another 2 sets. Her brother has a set as well. So
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought that it was you, and I'll tell you why. Because almost every day that I show up at the office in a suit or any kind of like formal outfit for court or for a Zoom hearing, I walk down the hall and I find myself matching you.
That's true.
Even today.
Right.
We didn't even decide, we didn't even talk ahead of time, and we show up like this.
Yes, so that's
And
naturally.
I thought, you must be the twin maker, because every time I show up, I look exactly like you. Check this out. Okay? See, and I thought it was him making twins. So, but you're
No.
saying it's on your wife's side?
It's on my wife's side, but I think great minds think alike. It happens a lot.
But I've been learning more about you, my friend, and I've developed a theory about Brian Jenney. Okay, and my theory is that I've studied your work life. I've studied your sailing life. You're an amazing sailor. You've been sailing for what, 20, 30 years now?
20, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're what they call an old goat yet?
Not yet. Working there.
Okay. And I've gotten to know your family through sailing and through the firm and activities, and I've seen kind of a pattern with you, and I want to see if this resonates with you at all. Everything you do, it seems to me anyway, doubles and triples in value just because you are the one doing it. Like in your work and service, you started in science and law, and you expanded to the top. You're quoted in the New York Times. People refer to you for specialty and knowledge. You're top 100 lawyers. You're super lawyer every year. A lot of lawyers, they work hard their entire career, and they don't expand that way. You just happen to have I don't know what it is about you. You just do it. And then in the sailing, you do the same thing. Do you think that that's true?
Well, I mean, I do apply myself, and if I want to do something, I want to do it right. So I try and, it takes a lot of work, but you want to work hard to be at the top of your game in anything that you do. So that's kind of my theory in life, is I'm all in on trying to be the best I can be and enjoy as much as I can my work and my hobbies. So I try and.
And then your family man, I've noticed you support your kids in all their activities. Your daughters are runners. Your sons are runners too, aren't they?
Yes, they were. Not as fast as my daughters, though.
Yeah. You got some winners in there.
Yeah.
Didn't you just have a winner recently last year? What was it?
Well, that was my daughter Olivia. She qualified for states, so she has the fastest time at the high school that she goes to. So for females,
that's really great.
It has been fun.
Well, they're outrunning you now.
Of course.
Yeah. The story that I want to tell is about the first time we did the Mackinac race on the sailboat. And, well, not the first time we did it, but the first time we did it with one of your sons. And it was rough.
Yeah.
And halfway through, Ethan went down.
Yeah.
With the,
Upset
nausea.
stomach.
Yeah, and we all get it. So it's nothing to be ashamed of, but he went down and he was laying in a circle in the middle of the boat.
Right.
And he was only a teenager. And it was, you were his dad, but you were also the captain of the boat.
Yeah.
And so you let him suffer, but you didn't over accommodate him, but you let him experience that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good because the very next year, he expanded his capacity. He really became an awesome sailor.
Correct.
Because I think it was because the way you led him, and I think that's how you handle your clients.
Yeah.
I think you work with your clients carefully and responsibly. That's what I see anyway.
Yeah, and then communication, I think, is one of the biggest things that lawyers need to do with their clients. Communicate, let them know where you are on the file and if anything's going on, and of course, return their phone calls quickly. I'm always amazed at how many attorneys don't do it, right?
Yeah, lesson number 1.
Right.
Communication.
Right.
Well, these days it's hard to communicate. There's so many different ways. How do you handle emails and phone calls, especially with your practice? I mean, you have files stacked up on your desk sometimes.
I do, unfortunately, but yes. So we return phone calls within 24, I return phone calls within 24 hours or give it to my assistant to return phone calls if it's something she can handle. And then emails, I typically get back within 48 hours, but it's, at nighttime, I'm usually returning emails after the business day.
You could have done anything, right? You were interested in environments. You were interested in science. Somehow you were drawn to the law. And don't tell me it's because you got paid more. There's something about the law that keeps you in it. There's something about it that keeps you applying yourself. And there's something about it that means something to you. And that's what pro bono is about, right, folks? I wanted to know, what is it? Do you know what it is?
I think law is fascinating, and you're always learning. And I always I mentioned earlier, I always try and be the best I can be. And law makes you continue to learn and continue to expand your knowledge in the field. And the pro bono work that I've done as well is rewarding. Oakland County Probate Court, Oakland County Probate Bar Association, I present there, and then PALS as well, Oakland County PALS, I've done some presentations there, and with ICLE. So the pro bono work I've done is rewarding as well, because you're helping people and other attorneys learn the certain niches that I would say I've not mastered, because you're always learning, but I have a very good knowledge and able to share that with other.
So just for the audience, when you say pro bono, you're talking about work that you do without charging.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
When I say pro bono, I'm talking about the name of the show. So
Right.
And I just, they're both the same word. It's
Right.
kind of crazy Latin word that we learned in law school.
Right.
The last thing I want to talk to you about is something we were talking about before we started shooting, was the way that courts are handling so many cases online, like on camera now through Zoom and other hearings. It's really fascinating how different courts are handling these things. And you and I are often going to court in our office.
Correct.
So just the other day, for example, you and I were in the same courtroom
Right.
at the same time, but I was in my office standing in front of my computer looking at it, and you were in your office down the hall standing in front of your computer looking at it. And I didn't know you were going to be in that courtroom until I saw you on my computer screen.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think it's been good for the general public, because it's more access to the courts, which is a good thing. I guess there's different methods, right? There's everyone in one Zoom, so everyone can see each other, and then some courts pull you in individually where you have one-on-one time basically with the judge and co-counsel.
It's so difficult to decide how to do it. Like one judge will say, okay, I want everyone on the screen to listen to me and the case I'm calling, just like the old-fashioned live courtroom, right?
Right.
And then another judge will say, everybody go to the waiting room and I'll have one case at a time, like it's a private courtroom.
Right.
It's a dilemma.
It is.
And then they have to decide which cases to call.
Right.
And how long the argument's going to be.
Right. On a Wednesday with 30 cases lined up.
That's a tough decision.
I mean, efficiency is a big deal, right? So I think the court should find a way to be as efficient as they can and run through the docket as efficiently as possible, keeping in mind that all the attorneys are waiting, right? And they're all billing their clients. So
not only that, there are times when the lawyers are, quote unquote, in another court.
Yeah.
And they have to message the group and say, I'm in another court. And they go back. It's like, since COVID, this thing has just exploded.
Right.
And it's just fascinating. I don't think the general public really understands, unless, of course, they have to go to court themselves and they're in their car on their phone going to court.
Well, don't do that. The judges don't like that.
They don't.
No.
Especially when they're driving.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, often I have my cell phone and I have the computer set up because I'm in both courtrooms at the same time, and I pray I don't get called at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I started setting up my office so that I can stand in front of my computer instead of sit, because you end up getting hunched over and looking at the computer and, looking like an ogre. Instead, I try to stand like I would in a court. I mean, I learned to stand in a courtroom and to present things in a courtroom. And it feels so much like I'm being a lawyer if I'm standing.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I do the same thing. I stand because that's what we did before, and I think you project better. You're used to doing it that way. It's fun.
Well, in honor of our habit of being twins around here, I just thought I'd put on the glasses and show everybody how, he's awesome, so I get to look like him, so I want to act like I'm awesome too. So thanks a lot, Brian Jenney. We're glad to have you here at Kemp Klein. Speaking on behalf of all the lawyers here that feel the same way.
Thank you, Ed.
Glad to have you.